right, good afternoon and welcome to Women Voices for Peace. It's reaching you on Treasure FM 98.5. And of course, I have Barrister Grace Ajebo in the house. Barrister Grace, you're welcome again.
Thank you, Auntie Rachel.
Good to have you again today. Okay, and this program is coming to you on the bills of West African Network for Peace Building One Up. And today we're looking at tolerance. November 16th every year is celebrated as International Day of Tolerance. And today we're looking at the topic fostering mutual understanding and tolerance among cultures and people in Nigeria. Now, Barrister Jibo, what is tolerance?
Tolerance means accepting other people's opinions and preferences, even when they do not live in a way that you approve. Accepting their opinions as valid, even if you do not agree with them. Putting yourself in the other person's shoes to try to see things from the person's perspective and understand why the person holds the view or the opinion, or why the person has behaved in the way that he or she has done.
So, talking about tolerance, where do we tolerate people? Is it just in the home, or where are we expected to tolerate what people do against us? Because we live in a society where some people will say, I can't take this thing outside my home, stuff like that. So where and where? What locations? Are there specific locations where somebody can tolerate?
Well, we're expected to tolerate at all times. It's not exclusive to the home. It's not exclusive to your workplace. It's not exclusive to the streets. I think every aspect of life requires tolerance, because you will meet people coming from different backgrounds, holding different opinions, people who have been brought up in different ways, so have different perspectives. So of course they cannot always align with your own belief or your own perspective. So there's a requirement for tolerance at all times.
Now, where do we draw the line? Does tolerance translate to, keeping quiet all the time, even when you're being stepped on, even when things that belong to you are being taken away, even when you're being lied against, or you know that this person is out to run me down, I should tolerate the person? I mean, throw more light on it. How does it translate to being stupid or not defending your right?
No, not at all.
You're a lawyer, so where do we draw the line? How do we draw the line? How do we balance it up between tolerating and asserting yourself, wriggling out of a situation that maybe somebody is trying to lie against you and you're trying to wriggle out of it? How do you draw the line? Do we say everything is tolerance? Even
No,
when
no,
you're
no. Tolerance doesn't mean that
stupidity.
It doesn't mean that one has to be foolish or one has to be. In fact, tolerance requires a high level of discipline. Okay, you tolerate someone or someone's action by trying to understand where that person is coming from or what is informing that particular action or not. That does not mean that if that action is going to be inimical to your own well-being, that you just have to sit down and accept it. No, you can accept that this is the person's opinion and also differ with the opinion. Okay, just like we can agree to disagree on issues. Okay, I accept that your position is legit to you, mine is also legit to me. So in as much as we're not agreeing on this, we will work together. But it doesn't mean that you are expected or required to accept everything the other person says. And that means you don't have your own opinion about things. You just need to understand that the person must not accept your own position, or must not act the way you want the person to act. But your first responsibility is to, in asserting your own rights, like there's what we say in law, that your right stops where my own begins. Okay, so you have your rights for as long as it doesn't start infringing on my own. Where my own right starts, that's where your own right stops. Okay, so once you're a tolerant person, you accept that people may differ in opinion from yours, but you can also decide that, well, let's agree not to agree on this particular topic and move forward. So
Okay.
it doesn't mean you have to be foolish or you have to be a doormat for everyone.
Okay. So when you say this tolerance cuts across, like you said, cuts across in the home, the office, and so I want us to paint typical pictures, like in the home. How can a husband and wife tolerate each other before we go to other spheres?
Okay, starting from the home, in a marriage, both parties need to understand that they're coming from different backgrounds. With that understanding at the back of their minds, there are some issues that they will not take too personal when you know that the way this person was brought up is different from the way I was brought up. So it is normal for the person to hold different opinions or to do things differently from the way I do mine. So if a husband and a wife have that understanding that both of them are coming from different backgrounds and agree that what they need to do is try to merge their backgrounds together, find meeting points, okay? Sometimes one has to be willing to give in to the other's opinion.
That is
in the
the
interest,
tolerance, right?
the tolerance, yes. If in the interest of the family, this other opinion will work better. So putting what is the best interest of the family in front, you would find that there will be different occasions and instances where one party or the other would need to give in to the other. That's where tolerance comes in. Ultimately looking at what works best for the family, not proving who is right and who is wrong, or who is the head at all times, rightly or wrongly or not.
All right. In case you're just tuning in, the program is Women Voices for Peace, a program sponsored by ONEP. And today we're looking at fostering mutual understanding and tolerance among cultures and people in Nigeria in the spirit of International Day of Tolerance coming up November 16. So we're setting the tone for this celebration. Now let's come down. We've talked about tolerance in the home. What about if you find yourself in the society, like in an office? How do you tolerate your colleagues? You're working too.
Yes.
Workplace.
Some
Some colleagues can be overbearing.
Yes, really.
And very annoying.
Really.
Okay.
Workplace relations is a very tricky one. Very, very tricky. And firstly, everybody in a work environment needs to understand that the reason why they are there is to ensure that the organization for which they work, benefits from their wealth of knowledge, which is why they are being paid. They're expected to bring, their wealth of knowledge and experience to bear on the business of that organization so that the organization can grow, And so, with that in mind, every organization has hierarchy. Okay, they have the ladder where some will be at the bottom rung while others will be at the head, and it doesn't matter the age of the person at the head or the age of the person at the bottom. There is respect and order of giving and taking instruction that is expected of everyone in a working environment. So for those who are on the higher rung of the ladder in the workplace, they need to understand that in as much as I am in the administrative cadre, of this particular organization, everyone up to the least person, has an opinion that is valid.
That should be respected.
That should be respected too, and should treat their subordinates with respect. The fact that they're human beings, first of all, makes them entitled to basic courtesy and respect. Okay, so if you have that, the superiors in a workplace respecting the opinions, even if they may not take the suggestions that may come from their subordinates, but respect the fact that these people can have something to offer, okay, and are courteous to them. You'll find that it will be easier for them. So
you're saying that subordinates should be listened to.
Yes.
Even though you don't take their opinions.
Yes, and should be accorded courtesy, basic courtesy. because they're human beings,
Mm.
firstly, and subordinates need to respect their superiors, irrespective of the age of the person. Some people, are very antagonistic towards their superiors because they may be older age-wise and feel like, oh, this is the my child's mate. How dare she dish instructions to me, or if not for, but the fact is she is your superior. Or some will say, imagine a common woman is talking to me like that, as is want to be said by a lot of male subordinates to their female superiors, then you would find that there will be a hostile environment in that workplace. So when people are courteous to each other, respect each other's opinion, treat everyone like a human being ought to be treated, then you will find less conflict in the workplace.
Okay, now fostering mutual understanding, understanding and tolerance among cultures and people in Nigeria. That's the topic we're treating today. So, how can you define mutual understanding? You've defined
Mutual
tolerance.
understanding is the meeting point of opinions between
different
two
opinions
parties
converge.
meet. Yes,
Okay.
there is a meeting point, and the meeting point more often is what is in the best interest of all of us, irrespective of our tribes, irrespective of our cultures, irrespective of our ethnicities. What is in our best interest? Take, for example, Nigeria. What's in the best interest of Nigerians? Whether you come from the north, from the south, east, west, middle belt, what is in our best interest? So fostering mutual understanding is finding those things that bind us together, the things that we all benefit from collectively. If Nigeria's reputation improves in, out there globally, who benefits? Every Nigerian will benefit, irrespective of what tribe you come from. We find that when we have negative publicity, in the global world, everyone, whether you're Igbo, whether you're Yoruba, whether you're Efik, whether you're Hausa, whether you're Bini, it robs everyone. Okay, it robs everyone. They say, oh, they're all Nigerians. That's how Nigerians behave. So when we understand that working together will help us all have, better access to better reputation, better standards of living, we will put our ethnic differences and cultures aside.
Okay. Now in Nigeria, you find out that different ethnic groups, we're a multicultural nation.
Yes.
Maybe we should treat this first before going to the issue of suspicion. So how can we foster mutual understanding in a multicultural nation like Nigeria?
Well,
right now we know that it's not there.
It's not
There's
there.
no mutual
It's not
understanding.
there. But it